2 hours. The tension is just beginning. Just a minute, ladies and gentlemen. I think something is happening.
Johnny, have we got too many people here? Too many people on the planet? Too many people, you ask, Johnny? Yes, there's too many people, I reckon. But there's a couple of folks out there advocating that society is going to collapse shortly, and that's going to be a bloody disaster. Really? What's their bloody argument? Yeah, collapse because we're not breeding as many people. Jesus Christ!
Summit in December.
There are not enough people. I can't emphasize this enough. There are not enough people. If people don't have more children, civilization is going to crumble. Mark my words.
Johnny, are you telling me there's people out there advocating we get more people on this planet? Is that what you're telling me? Well, knock me down with a bloody feather. But I think there's a lot of people out there too, Johnny, that would think that having less people on this bloody planet would be a damn good thing.
If you talk to him, I think you'd have a different opinion.
Okay.
He genuinely thinks that it's important for people to have as many children as possible.
I mean, haven't they seen the bloody state of the fucking rainforest?
Because the threat of the population collapse is still more than a decade away, politicians in Western countries are largely ignoring it. However, failure to acknowledge the problem will not make it disappear. The only notable person who has acknowledged the severity of this issue seems to be Elon Musk.
We should be concerned about demographic implosion.
Why do you say that?
So if you look at countries like Japan, most of Europe, China, and you look at the birth rates in a lot of those places is only at about half of the sustaining rates. When you have an inverted demographic pyramid, so if you look at the pyramid, you've got age striation, 60-year-olds, 50-year-olds, 40-year-olds, 20-year-olds, sort of a demographic pyramid.
Right.
And in some countries, it's like an upside-down pyramid, so it'll sort of fall over. So it will not stand. What we'll actually have in those countries is a very high dependency ratio, where the number of people who are retired is very high relative to the number.
But Johnny, surely they realise you just can't keep bloody breeding. And there are people out there saying, well, we've just got to grow more food and be more efficient. Well, we haven't been fucking growing enough food to feed the entire planet forever.
In November of this year, the population of the Earth will hit 8 billion is not good news. And those who are regarded as such should be treated for TikTok brain. The Secretary General of the United Nations, of all people, said that welcoming our 8 billionth person was an occasion to celebrate our diversity. Yes, what a comfort that people of all races will be contributing to an already unsustainable carbon footprint and choking and starving equally.
The Ask Johnny channel goes on about this. We rant about it, about how half the bloody population of Africa is fucking starving. It has been for bloody years, and it's not getting any better. So there's people that say, well, we'll just develop more crops and we'll feed everybody. There won't be any problem. Well, there's been a problem that hasn't been rectified for fucking 200 years.
It's 20 years. Portfolios of companies to invest in that, among other things, offer a green alternative to traditional investments while also delivering consistent profits to investors. The overall message of all these measures is that, so long as we make the right things profitable, we will get out of the climate change trap and come out, if not unscathed, at least safe. It's a win-win. It's growth without any of the moral hang-ups of environmental exploitation, or the pollution of production and consumption. And while it might sound great to some, green growth is a lie. We cannot keep growing our economy year after year and also rein in climate change.
Women are working longer, men are working longer, they want to prioritise their house and all that sort of bloody stuff in their careers, which is quite normal, but in doing so, people aren't breeding as much.
Kids with everybody, and then there's this super educated couple that's holding it off and putting it off until they're like in their 40s, and then they can't have kids, the guy doesn't have any sperm left, and the girl's eggs are bad. That's the reality of intelligent, educated people with careers, is that they have less children.
I mean, there has to be a limit. How we go? Oh, Jesus.
I said, take it easy, baby, I worked all day, and my feet feel just like lead.
First, a little bit about growth. We take more things out of the ground, move more things around, and throw more things away. It's what makes the numbers on the graph go up. But on a planet with finite resources, this kind of system doesn't work. We can't keep pulling more from the Earth year after year and not expect there to be a point when that's no longer an option. We can either plan for it, or we will be forced to reckon with it at the worst possible time.
And, yeah, the evidence is there that we're not producing enough people to sustain the bloody way of life that a lot of Western countries have grown accustomed to.
And you will forgive me if I speak bluntly. Until very recently, it was. But now there's a growing movement of people more worried about population decline. Decline, that's what we should be celebrating. But Elon Musk says
The biggest problem the world will face in 20 years is population collapse.
Oh, there's trouble brewing.
I'm not worried about the population collapsing. I'm worried about the glaciers collapsing and the food chain and the electrical grid. Look, I'm a big Musk fan, but I have no idea what he's talking about when he says Earth could sustain many times its current population and the ecosystem would be fine. It's not fine now. Nature World News just reported an unprecedented global extinction crisis with more than 1 million species expected to die off in the next few decades. The bees are all dying, and the coral reefs. Fish populations in the ocean are collapsing. What the fuck are these people talking about?
Yeah, there seems to be a push, all right. A push from every government, especially the Australian government at the moment. We need more workers. We need more people coming in here. We need this and need that. But a 10-year-old kid could tell you that that can't go on forever. So, Johnny, what's the solution? What are we going to do about it?
Sure, sometimes profitability does line up with good causes. Sometimes it's cheaper to be more environmentally sustainable, for instance. Or maybe donating to a charity will net a big fat tax break for the capitalist. Or maybe it's just good marketing to support a worthy cause. But this is all just incidental. Don't be fooled for a moment into believing that capitalism cares about the welfare of society. It's all about the profit. Keep in mind...
Well, the system has to change, Johnny. Some 10-year-old kid could tell you that we just can't keep on using the Earth's resources and bloody doing this and doing that and just getting up to 10 billion people, 20 billion people in the world. Johnny, it's impossible, isn't it? We're going to fuck it up. Well, how about that?
If we want to ensure a livable future for the human race, we must move past capitalism. Capitalism is incapable of solving the problems it creates. It is entirely beholden to the profit motive, and no amount of flowery language, greenwashing, or reform will ever change that.
But Johnny, the people who are bloody advocating less people, I'm not sure they've taken into account the huge economic bloody hardship that might ensure when we change the whole bloody system so it doesn't rely on growth.
Scientists say it would require almost an entire other Earth to produce the resources we need to sustain the population we have now. It would take 5 Earths to support the population if everyone consumed like the average American, which most of the world wants to do. To deny these facts makes you, I don't know, some kind of a flat earther of population science.
People on the other side, Johnny, who want more people and say we can do this, we can grow more food and we can look after the environment and all that, they don't seem to have taken into account the shitty fuck up we've made of the planet so far.